Every time we meet, I'm in a different stage of my life. If you would ask me 5 years ago, do you know who you are? I would say no. Do you value who you are? I said no. Do you love yourself 100%? I said no. Until now, I am.
So 5 years ago, really, you would have said that? I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of when we first chatted. That was probably, I'm going to say like 2018 or something like that. Probably was.
Yeah.
So you've come that far in just 5 years?
Yes.
I don't think I would have guessed that, even knowing you then. So
Well-
what's changed? What since then? What happened?
I came here to learn how to train dogs. I didn't came here for money, fame, and power. I was not even going to try to stay in America. I was just coming for a year.
Uh-huh.
So people can see my spirituality, my instincts, my passion and my creativity, and the brand that I built. But I'm still not in a personal zone. I think he moved a little bit.
Oh,
Can you double check?
Oh my gosh, I can't. I cannot make him move from that position. He is in heaven right now. He's like, I will check it.
Check. Okay.
Oh, it still looks good over here.
All right,
Nice,
well.
right in frame.
I'm glad.
Oh, okay, wait. So the last thing you said, it was something about personal
Yeah, then
intimacy.
It should, the right way, if you ask me, it should be your intimate life, your life with God, your life with family, your life with yourself. You should have that under control by the time you're 10 years old.
Okay.
That's it, because it's just you.
Yeah.
Right? You should know who you are, your value, and your self-love by the time you're 10. Right? So you are a beautiful, healthy human being, attracting beautiful, healthy human beings. But what you don't realize is you go into the world not knowing who you are, what to value of you, and how to love you. You. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you learn to love things outside of you.
And define yourself also
based
through
on that.
things outside of you.
Based on that.
Right.
So then you turn into what the world says. Well, if you get one of those three, money, fame, or power, you can have happiness, health, love through a woman. So I'm going to go and attract a woman through money, fame, and power, unless through my happiness, my instincts, and my heart, and my creativity. Mm-hmm. That's not how I end up attracting a woman.
Okay.
Right?
So
An animal only has happiness, health, love, and creativity. He doesn't have money, fame, and power. Only humankind believes he needs to have money, fame, and power to attract a person that finds beautiful, that wants to have a connection and communication and relationship. See that part? 5 years ago, I couldn't put it together, even though I was already doing the same thing with animals, the same thing with the land. Because I have 43 acres. I have a connection, communication, relationship, and the only way I built it, that's because my spirit, my instinct, and my heart attracted the land, and you can see it. I made it grow.
You sure can. And it's beautiful here. I know I've said this last time that I was here, but I'm going to say it again for everybody. And maybe we'll do a little video clip and we can share that. I'll share it on social media. So beautiful here. It's even more beautiful than I remember it from last time I was here. So I don't know if you did more to it or if it's just like I was so like in awe the first time and now I have more ability to just soak it all
grows
in.
right, so your land grows because it becomes more mature. So everything, it becomes more beautiful.
It's beautiful,
right? Because the energy the reason why we created the place, and then people are coming and then feeling the magic of it, and people understanding, why did I build it, the philosophy behind. And then I have dog parks, I have a temple, I have trails, I have different species. So then it's the action, right? So all of that, people are coming and pouring that energy here.
Yes.
You see it? So you can feel the humans are investing their happiness, their health, their love, and their wildest dream. Nobody has ever seen something like this.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you talking about, now I'm going to get specific, because now that I remember you talking about this, the second interview that we did, or chat that we did, was during the pandemic. It was on Zoom. And I remember you saying that you were still trying to understand women.
Yeah.
So is this what we're talking about too, part of this whole situation?
Well, so what I learned is, I always talk about comfort, love, and joy. But once I started researching about women or the female energy, I learned that every human being has the masculine and the feminine um, been given to them.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, me as a male, I'm going to choose my masculine energy, therefore my position and my responsibilities, right? But unfortunately, growing up in Mexico, when you get sensitive, when you get in your female emotions or your sensitivity part, you're not allowed to practice. And you don't get to see a healthy woman, and you don't get to see a healthy man.
Mm-hmm.
So you learn um, you learn to see men with the wrong energy. You learn to see men with the wrong philosophy. Therefore, they're going to be doing the wrong actions, and they're gonna be too rough. They're going to be emotionally rough, mentally rough, spiritually rough. Therefore, physically rough. That's what I grew up with,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now that I understand the female energy better, love, joy. Um, I learned not to fall in love with the beauty of a woman, which women are visual. And I never fall in love with the beauty of a dog. I always fall in love with the spirit, the instinct, and the heart
Yeah.
of a dog. And then whatever the mind can do is up to me, right? So I will never tell you, get a beautiful dog. I will always tell you, get the right energy for you.
Of course. That's like instinct. And that's how you are attracted to dogs. I think probably most people are, right?
Well, it's not just instincts because when you just tell people instincts, they go research about instincts, and instincts has its own programming, but then spirit has its own program.
Uh-huh.
It's like a lemonade, right?
Intuition is what I meant.
Well,
not instinct, but intuition. Like intuitively, you know how somebody's energy is. You feel it. You sense it. When you see a dog, you know, I love that dog. That's how a lot of people, I think. I mean, that's how I picked our dog, Stella, is because out of the puppies that she was running around with, there was something about her.
Okay.
She looked the same as all the others.
Right.
So it wasn't about looks.
Right.
So I feel like that's natural with
Yes.
dogs.
Yes.
But maybe a little bit less so.
No,
with
because
humans.
most people pick the dog from an emotional intelligence point of view. That dog is cute. Or the story behind what happened to the dog, or they feel sorry. And they adopt the dogs. There's a lot of men that we adopt a woman feeling guilty, feeling sorry, feeling she needs us.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So very intellectual, very emotional, but it's beautiful. So most men will tell you, yeah, the first thing I look is she's good looking, and then is I fall in love with her, or I think she needs me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So or she's very smart. But that's just the emotions and the intelligence. What about the spirit? What about the instinct? And that's so. Spirit to me is honesty, integrity, loyalty, a happy person in the moment. And then instinctual is, do you know what position you play? And let me see you playing that position with your parents. Because in my parents, I am a follower, right? But I take care of the pack. So that shows respect. That shows you have responsibilities in a pack that you were born, and you can see your trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
How good of a son are you? Because that also means how good of a pack member you are with a woman, or how good of a father you are. You see how loyal you are to the pack. Not how much you love the pack, how loyal, because a lot of people love, but they don't do nothing for the pack. So I'd rather have loyalty, healthy leadership before love.
Okay, so do your ideas change? Like, do you think about, because you always have these systems, I notice,
Yeah.
right? You have rules of 3 or maybe
Right,
4
right.
things, whatever, right?
Yeah, the Virgo side.
Yes, okay, the Virgo side, right. So I know you have a lot of those things, but do you ever think of like, okay, but now actually I see things also from this angle. So
Yeah.
you're naturally coming up with other things?
Of course.
You are. Or you like, all right, I feel like I need a new system to put something else into place.
No matter what system you pick, at one point has to make sense to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know it makes sense because it makes you feel good. And then once it makes you feel good, you find words that you identify with the feeling, and you are capable to teach it, right? So the reason why I can teach people is because I feel really good about what I'm doing, and not only that, I can show you how to do it, and I can not only you can hear it, you can see it, you can feel it. So when it's a system, it's not just that I open my mind or come surrender to Tony Robbins or Wayne Dyer or you or whoever, really. I love not to feel confused, unhappy, or chaotic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for that, you need knowledge.
Okay, wait, back up. Why did you mention Tony Robbins and Wayne Dyer and me? And what are you saying about the three
No,
of us?
it's easy for me to go to a camp surrender to learn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So why would I go to learn when I know so much? But I know so much about animals, but I still have still had a blockage human to human because I never saw a healthy male and a healthy female having a healthy relationship. Not only that, the whole country I come from more likely practice that.
Mm-hmm.
You see it?
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so then how are you developing? Who are you seeing? Are you seeing, like, do you have somebody who you're like, yeah, this is the kind of healthy relationship that I want out of life right now?
Yes. And that's and you have to learn to see a woman for what it is, right? That's the part that men we have to go deep, and that's why the natural, simple, profound way of looking at life came out, right? So I need to see not the beauty of a woman and how excited I feel about the beauty, because you get trapped in that.
Right, but so how did you wake up to it then? How did you find it? Because you didn't have
Because I have to go through something really bad.
Okay.
You see, so I only have 3 women in my life. The mother of my children, Jahaira and Connie. That's it, right? And so one teach me self knowledge. That was the mother of my children. Who is Cesar Millan without money, fame, and power? And then Jahaira taught me self-love, right? Because I wanted to impress her. And why do I want to impress her when I'm already an incredible human being? So there was something wrong about me. And
okay, so she taught you what then?
Self-love.
Self-love.
To work on self-love.
Because when you came into the relationship with Jahaira, you didn't have that.
Oh, I just came out of my divorce.
Right, and that was like the roughest patch in your life.
I went going to a failure mode, right? So I blame myself. I, very Catholic, and as a man, I have to carry this whole thing. And as you know, any divorce is 50-50, or any kind of disagreement with a human, even if it's not a divorce. You are responsible of your energy. I'm responsible of my energy and my actions. If we didn't agree, it's both of our fault. So I at that time I went into, I failed because I'm such a perfectionist.
So she taught you self-love how?
Self-value.
Self-value. How? How did she teach it to you?
No, it's not that they teach you. Is that you, if a relationship didn't move forward, and then it failed, but there's no failure. It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
Right. So that's one thing we have to learn, that there is no such a thing of failures. It's just a learning experience.
Totally.
Right.
True.
And so that is perspective, that if you learn from an early age, you're not going to get stuck on confusion and happiness and chaos. That we all get stuck at one point because they don't tell us the experiences are good. No matter if you think they're bad.
Experiences are good. All experiences are good. Of course, it's hard to hear that when you're going through something really bad. And it's like, well, how can you say this is good?
Yeah.
But like later on, if you learn from it and you grow from it, that's part of being a human. And like, that's the valuable part.
But that's the journey of life, right? Because you get to experience going through challenges with your spirit, your instinct, your heart, and your mind, right? Without money or with money or middle class, whatever, it's just you learning to exist on earth, moving forward and valuing time more than anything else. And so within that time, the best thing you can do as a human is never forget about your energy, never forget about your thoughts, who control your thoughts. Therefore, your actions are going to be good, right? So if your energy is good and your thoughts are great, your actions are going to be amazing. It's just a given.
Yeah.
You're just manifesting a physical body.
I was just going to say, that's like the whole manifestation concept.
Yeah.
Is that you just start thinking things and then you just act on them automatically. It just happens.
Yeah, but it has to come from spirit.
Yeah.
So you have to be honestly, integrity, loyalty, married to that. And be happy every day, just the fact that you were allowed to live, which animals do really good, right? And as a Mexican, that's one thing that the Mexicans do a lot. We're happy people in a corrupt environment. right? That's one thing that I also
That's
learned.
interesting.
Yeah, that's so we learn to be happy no matter what.
So that's passed down.
That's passed down as a cultural thing, but it's not just a cultural thing. It's just that country unconsciously used a spiritual source, because Mexicans, we're big believers. We're big believers. To us, God is first. Second is mom. Call it however, kill us today, kill us the next day, next generation. It doesn't matter. We will never change that. You see? It's in the DNA.
That's interesting. It's in the DNA.
It's in the
right?
DNA. And then third thing with Mexicans like is work. And no matter what we're doing, if we're in church or we're with our moms or we're at work, we're always singing, we're always dancing. So those two activities require happy-go-lucky energy. You see it? So that's your spirit. So be happy every day. It doesn't mean you're excited and you're laughing and all of that. You're just happy to live.
Yeah.
And then
It's
go
gratitude.
do a position in the pack. That's your instinct.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because then that also, of course, feeds everybody else in the community as well. So if it's very important who you surround yourself with. Don't forget, I was a therapist, so I think about these things too.
Yeah.
So who you surround yourself with also helps fuel that attitude or that appreciation. Yeah,
it's a pack. Well, your first pack is your family. So your first community is your family. Your first political party is your family. Your first religion corporation is your family, right? So everything before the personal zone or before the social zone or public zone is your family. So everything comes from there. Your spirit is nurtured by your family. Your instincts are nurtured by your family. Your heart is nurtured by your family. Your mind is nurtured by your family. It's just the Western society focus more in nurturing your mind, right? Go to a good college instead of have a good spirit. But you have to tell the kid that. Otherwise, the kid is not going to give value to his spirit. He's going to give value to his mind.
It's especially hard now because I was just speaking as a parent, right? Because Charlie. Yeah. But all three of my kids, that's what we always emphasize is how you feel inside and just feeling good and not about achievements necessarily, right? But we're in an achievement-oriented society, especially kids growing up now. These Gen Z kids have so much pressure and so much stress for those external things. So even if you're coming in with a good, healthy family, society matters too. Yeah,
but that's why your dog, and I'm not doing. Watch the transition. That's why your dog needs to behave extremely well inside the house. So when he goes into society, knows what to fight, flight, avoid. You see what I mean? So our dogs need to be extremely connected, communication and relationship with us before we pet parents, expose them into the outside world.
Right.
So if that works for dogs, it works for kids.
Okay. All right. So I want to get back to what you learned in every relationship, but I want to kind of go back to what you were talking about just now, because so you do have this ability to put things in perspective. As long as I've known you, you've always had that ability. I'm sure that it's been stronger at certain times than others. But so one of my things that I wonder about is how do you stay positive and grateful? Or how did you, even with the hard times that you had before? You went into detail with me the first time we talked, but can we talk about a little bit more for anybody who doesn't really know the struggles that you went through? How did you make it through those struggles when you were trying to come to America? Everything was rough. You jumped the border. You worked at I'm telling your whole story now.
Do it.
You worked at the grooming place, and she gave you slept in the bathtub in the back, right? So tell me.
I took my first shower in a bathtub for dogs. My first shower in America, it was in a bathtub for dogs. Because I was working I was homeless. I was homeless first before I went and worked at this grooming shop. And when the ladies find out that I was homeless, they let me stay in their place. And then, of course, I asked if I can take a shower, right? And I took a shower in the bathtub. And that was people will consider that a struggle. I saw myself more like now that I've seen the world, like a backpacker, and that was a hostel. And then if you've been in places of the world where they just hostel, the shower is the bathtub was better.
That's right. This is part of what I'm talking about. So you already had this, even when you're through, you just said some people would see it as a struggle, but like even during these times that sure, people would think about, oh, you're homeless. Like that's not easy. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, I'm homeless. This is not good. Where am I going? Like, did you ever question yourself in that way, or did you automatically have this belief system?
I think I have an advantage for the people that were born in America, because I was born in Mexico, where crime is big, and to hear or see death is very normal, you know. And so any place in America is 1,000 times safer, right? So once you feel safe, you find fun in things. But because I never saw beautiful freeways and roads and, you know, so organized, again, the vertigo kicks in. And I said, wow, this is beautiful, structure, clean. How fun this is.
Right.
So the world was completely...
It's exciting.
Yeah, because I'm looking at from a different perspective than Americans. Americans are used to it. They take it for granted, you know, and there's such a incredible infrastructure, organization, a little less corrupt politics, right? So you feel safer, and that's a commodity.
Totally true. And that's, again, perspective
That's
that
right.
you can use now, like people can use now. It's called reframing, where you're seeing a situation as really bad, a struggle, but what you can do is reframing and say something like, this is actually kind of exciting.
Yeah. If you know, if people are having a hard time being grateful, you know, especially if we are here in America, just go to a third world country, just take a week, take 2 weeks, and just go to see the happiness and poverty.
Okay, so that's when you look at that, it's all relative. It wasn't really a struggle. So when did your struggles begin? When they felt like struggles to you?
Struggles begin when I try to play a mature game, such as being married, being in a relationship, being a businessman, and meeting more people who were not in the motor code of honesty, integrity, loyalty. That's struggle. Yeah,
so
surviving in the streets is easy.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's just me. It's just me. I'm just a 21-year-old kid with a dream, and I know how to figure it out because I came from Sinaloa, and I was in the border for 2 weeks. So if I can survive that, you know, hey.
I think it's ball rolled away.
No, I know,
It's all
but you
good.
can't just go crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So that's.
Let's. Yes. So that's what I say. I have an upper hand. It's like people coming from India and Bombay and come to America is easy.
So it was when you got married, and then so remind me what happened with the whole business situation with the show. Like they took the name The Dog Whisperer and whatnot,
Well,
right?
this is when I learned about Hollywood and the legal way to be dishonest. Right? This is a legal way to be dishonest.
So what did they lie about? That was legal.
Ownership
Ownership of the name.
Ownership, that's right. Ownership of a relationship. It was a 50-50. And so when it was time to honor that, it was not. It was not on paper. You know, the little things, the little words. This is what it means. And so I'm a man of my word, and I was playing that game. But legally they were not playing it. And of course spiritually it was obviously not. So that's a struggle. That's really hard because you work so hard, and you know, and you want people to take their half, and I take my half, and we work. We did it. We accomplished this together. So then you find 10 years later, right? So the relationship is not 1 year to 1 week, 2 weeks. Yeah, I just met the person, right? But when it's a relationship of 10 years and you know their children, you know their everything, I mean, you become a little bit more personal. I assume that honesty, integrity, loyalty was a given.
So what did they do? What happened?
Yeah, they got to control money. So once they control money, you control, and they control rights. The rights I got to get them back, but the money, no. So, right. So you work hard for all these years, and then you find out.
And that was going on at the same time as your marriage wasn't working out.
No, I find first was the divorce, and then was the my separation from Dog Whisper, because I just wanted just brand new.
Right.
To have a brand new. That's it. Whatever I wanted to do, that's it. I just wanted a brand new start, and I was done. Yeah, that was it. Rules, boundaries, limitations.
Yeah.
So instinctually, I felt the limit on that.
So you walked away.
I walk away. Yeah.
And how did you feel spiritually at that point?
Free, happy, because I am the dog whisperer, right? I created the thing. So that part was I didn't feel bad. I didn't do nothing dishonest. So that part of me was awesome, right? Because they went after my mind because I couldn't believe it. So I just struggled for a little while, but my spirit was happy and my instincts were good. My
so
heart.
like your emotions were the struggle, not your
my mind, and of course I
level.
went into this emotional intelligence thing, like how there are people, and then you went to this lawyer thing, and then you just play the game, but you get trapped in that. You get trapped in that.
Okay, but just to get into the specifics though, but like, what could they even do with the dog? You are the dog whisperer. It's like that doesn't even make sense.
Well, they couldn't make another one, right? They tried, but they couldn't.
Okay, and now you say you got that name back?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. What did you get back? You said you got something back.
No, my name.
Name. Your actual name.
Yeah, my actual
Cesar
name.
Millan.
Yeah, so
wait, they had rights to your name?
Somehow they got it.
What?
Yeah. So it was. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, you don't just want to have this. You also want to have this, but this doesn't belong to you. Come on. This.
Right. Okay. So you rebounded from all of that. This is what I'm saying. Like you rebounded from all of that, and then you found your way.
Life. Well, that's the beauty. Hey, that's the beauty of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It teaches you something, or it helps you with something, or reconnects you with something.
What did it reconnect you with?
Well, I mean, it reminded me, that I'm a man of honor. It reminded me that they didn't take away my happiness. It reminded me that I'm capable to live in the moment. I didn't become bitter. That's the worst part. When taking your money is one thing, but taking your energy is another thing, and that you give it to them. So I thanks God, I didn't give that energy away. Even when I tried to commit suicide, it was my cultural belief that the belief, when somebody do you wrong, this is what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very, very Sinaloense decision. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's a culture thing, something wrong to learn.
So interestingly, my son and I were just talking on the car ride over here about people who try to take their own life, and how the struggle is really an internal one. It's not even about what's going on outside. It's the feeling inside that you really kind of can't take anymore. Was that accurate for you? How you felt at that time?
Well, yeah, obviously that, right? And then it's the Jesus.
This is the funniest thing. Trying to tape an interview with the whole pack.
And they just won the same. They won the same ball.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yeah,
with
they won the same ball. Yeah.
So okay. So getting back to was that your experience, that it was what you were suffering through, feeling inside? You just didn't want to feel it anymore.
I'm trying to get back into that. What it led me to it, right? So it's the sense. It's not rage. I didn't feel rage first, and I didn't even feel rage towards them. I feel rage towards me, right? And I blame me,
of course,
right? I blame me, and then I felt really sad. The humans can be that way. Why would they break the moral code? That's one thing that no animal will ever break, right? So, and that's something that I value very much. So that made me very sad, right? And then that's my spirit. My spirit got really, really sad, and then my instinct went into a rage, and then my heart went into I don't deserve love, and then my mind is, well, if you can't hurt them, hurt yourself. If you can't kill them, kill yourself. That's what I say. It's very Sinaloense, because over there they would let you. They would get rid of you, and that's normal.
That's interesting.
You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
that is like an imprint. That is
Yeah.
like a knowledge you learn, and that's just me being real with me, because I'm at the time in my life where I'd rather speak what I feel, what I know, what is truth, because hiding things doesn't teach nothing. You know, and it's not that to be that I'm brave. It's just I chose not to lie to myself, and to hide just because I'm trying to be polite. You know, or I don't want people to see me the wrong way. No, I'd rather not see myself the wrong way, ever, ever.
That's one of your keys to success, I'm sure. Right? You could, because you can see it and feel it, and I'm sure it would be difficult in your position with so much success and so many people watching that you. It would be easier or more likely to fall into that pattern of caring about those things.
Yeah,
But it's a huge power you have
yeah.
internally.
You learn the warrior or the victim. You know, and that's it. You have two choices.
Yeah, I can never relate to the victim role, and I'm grateful that I naturally don't either. I don't know if it's natural or if how I was raised or whatever it is, but I very much do not relate to the victim role. At certain times, sure, for a minute, and it's important to lick your wounds and whatnot when it happens, but then to move on and learn from it.
Yeah, I mean, I got to experience it because I help people for a living, right? So every time that I go to another level to help people, I experience them. I experience the pain. I experience everything.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can empathize, sympathize, and identify, right? And I just want to feel the human pain, so I can change it, because I know how to feel the pain of the animal and change it. That's what I do for a living, right? I change the pain of fight, flight, avoidance, aggression, fear, confused. That's avoidance, and I turn it into calm, surrender, happy, go lucky, and I give them the calm, confident that connects them, right? And so, but I can alchemize that. From their existence, and it won't exist in their body. So I know how to do that. So obviously, the more I ask God to make me the greatest human for myself, the more I learn these energies inside people that I practically don't have, but I needed to experience them. You know, I grew up a very happy childhood, very healthy childhood, a lot of love childhood, and I have always done whatever I want. So my creativity has always been intact, even though I was poor, economically speaking.
Yeah, you were rich.
But this
wealthy.
guy, that's right, this guy that you see right now, is a kid. That's the same kid, with just more mature and understanding responsibilities. That's it.
Yeah.
But I'm a kid. I'm a kid that is responsible, that is mature. But I never want to let that go, because that's the most beautiful way to experience Earth. Especially when you're alone. You know, especially when you're alone.
Sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Childhood is calm, surrender, happy, go lucky, calm, confident. Everything is possible. You know, and so obviously now being mature, I live by example. I teach it, and I encourage it. Right.
Okay, let's circle back now to, so you learned through each relationship.
Yeah.
So what did you learn from or how did you move on from your second relationship of the three?
It took a while. It took a while because I was definitely confused and trapped, and with a lot of guilt, because there was a cheating involved, and that's the part that the first time in my life, honestly.
Because you were never a cheater,
Nope.
ever.
No, not to know it. That's why, you know, what happened with the dog whisper. It bothered me because they went after honesty. So when I did it, I went to another level of guilt. And so now I feel, shoot, and I only broke my own word, which it was, to me, it's a word, and it needs to come out. I was a hypocrite, right? And then that means I have no integrity. And that's very valuable to me, right? But then, so my excuse was I just got out of a relationship and I only had one woman in my life. And that's the mother of my kids. So for 16 years, that was it. That's the only woman I had.
Right.
So then you got the stories. Then you got the Mexican part of it. And then at the time that I grew up, hey, if you didn't have too many women and then you didn't live life. So that story came into my head right after the divorce, because I was loyal for 16 years to a person that I was not in love. Right.
Right. She was like a cat person, right?
Right. I married out of honor for
Uh-huh.
my kids.
Okay.
Right. So I practice honor. So I got married, practice honor, loyalty to the max. Then I got out of that, and then I'm in a relationship with Jahaira, and I cheated. And so for a while I tried to repair my, as I call it, karma, right? Because hey, I don't want to take this guilt to the next life, or yeah, like let me do whatever it takes. So I try to work on it, and it was just impossible.
What do you mean?
Well, I did it the wrong way. I began to use monetary help. Yeah. So and then
Oh,
I
so you're
wanted
like
to repair
buying
it.
Things for her.
That's right. That's
Got
right.
it.
That's right.
Okay, but
So
that's in it.
No, that's not it. No,
That's not real.
No. It has to be natural, simple, profound. Right. So it has to be natural, simple, profound. And so I thought that by keep helping us, if we were together, that will heal my wrongdoing. That's right. So that's what I learned, right? So the intention of healing, it was nice, but the way I was doing it was wrong. So it's like people trying to convince a dog with treats and toys and all this outside stimulation, when it should be no, gain the trust, gain the respect, gain the love, gain it again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would never tell you to do it any other way with a dog. Shh, the spot. I would never tell you to do any other way with a dog.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the connection. See how disconnected my understanding.
Yeah, you're on the deepest level. Your understanding
with a dog.
Yeah.
And when it goes into a woman,
Right.
like I said, I never saw a healthy woman relationship and a healthy man relationship. But I did see my grandfather and my dad having a profound relationship with nature. Profound. The two role models in my life, one died 105,
Yeah.
the other one is 85 right now. They both had a natural, simple, profound with nature. They didn't have it with women.
They didn't.
No.
They didn't at all.
They focused. I brought money. I'm the man of the house. And it's like, oh,
Okay, so you tried that
yes.
finally. Realized it didn't work, or she realized it, or
No,
what happened then?
I did.
You realized it.
Because I was just providing without trying to receive anything
Okay.
to practice unconditional love.
Okay.
Right? So that's when I learned self-value. And that's exactly what I always tell people. I have achieved so much connection, communication, relationship, right? And of trust, respect, love the land, the animals, the people in the world, corporations, trust, respect, love me, to do business, right? So I earned it. I know how to do it. But when it comes to my intimate, and that's pretty much what I am right now. Like I'm about to self-love myself. Because I grew up also with a body image. I wasn't tall enough. I wasn't blonde. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. So that, in some shape or form, I became affected. So I started looking for women to tell me that I was handsome. So what a huge responsibility to put on someone to tell me that, to love me.
Right.
Because I can't do it, or haven't learned to do it on my own. That's what
Right. It's external again.
Yeah, you're asking somebody else outside of you to do a responsibility that is solely on you. So you have to be responsible of your energy, your thoughts, and your actions. That's just what a mature, responsible human being is, with or without money, with or without a partner, with or without a family. That's really what we need to understand, right? So when we go into the world, we attract the same energy, the same philosophy, and the same actions. I love Ilusión, because she gave me two incredible children, and that was her contribution to me. Um, but she's not a dog person.
Right. She's a cat person. I remember
She's
you
a
told me.
cat person.
Yeah.
You know, and for her, having
Right.
animals is yeah or nay. To me, it's a must. You know, so that alone right there is just assessment and evaluation. Right. So to assess and evaluate the spirit of a woman, the instincts of a woman, the heart.
You want to come up?
Yeah, but don't let them.
Okay.
The heart of a woman, and of course the
Are
intelligence
these
of a
all
woman.
boy dogs, by the way? I
No.
feel like every dog is a boy.
No, it's Sophia and that's
Oh,
Tricky.
Okay. Well, who is Charlie petting right now?
Sophia.
That's Sophia. Sophia
Yeah.
loves to be pet.
Yeah. So definitely every situation, and right now I only have 3 women. That's it.
Right. Okay. So So Jahida, it didn't work. Okay. After that, then you figured some things out when you tried certain things that didn't work. And then what? Then you moved.
Then I learned
into.
that I never took time to see the spirit of a woman, to see the instincts of a woman and the mind of a woman, and that's when I met Connie. And
So she came in at just that time, or you knew her
no, we knew each
before,
other. Yeah, we knew each other.
But you were then ready for her.
That's correct. That's
Yeah.
correct. No, Connie, she was married, and I knew her when she was working, so we were friends. So Connie and I, we had a friend. She knew Ilusión, and she raised, she raised Andre. Honestly, when I got divorced, Andre didn't come and live with me, so Connie took over. So it's this beautiful, incredible angel relationship. Jahira helped me with Calvin, so everything was in place. But we had a friendship relationship, and admiration, because she's a Michelin chef, and I became this guy. So we met when she was a waitress, and I was just a dog walker, and so we saw each other grow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you really saw each other deeply on that level that has nothing to do with the things that you're talking about that you thought you were supposed to look at before.
But I have never learned to see that in a woman. Right? I never learned to value that in a woman.
But you do now.
Yes. Yes, because I went and worked on myself, and who's Cesar Millan, and how much Cesar Millan values himself, and how much Cesar Millan loves himself. So self-knowledge, self-values, self-love, and that came out of Ilusión, Jahira, and Connie.
Experiences again, no bad experiences.
Yeah, but it's only 3 women in my life, right?
I know,
it's
that's a pretty good record, I must say.
That's funny. It's funny, but I dedicated my whole life to my career. Right, so I just from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. And so I have to learn English. I have to become, a citizen. I have to raise 2 kids.
How did you become a citizen, and when did that happen?
It happened when I was married to Ilusión.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should thank her for that too.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have to stay married 10 years, which it just happened.
And then you
I didn't marry her for papers.
No, I didn't mean to imply that at all. I just don't think I remember you. I was talking about that before.
Yeah.
Like to what
No,
you...
just it's for my record, because
yes.
I didn't even know you marrying an American person, well, you becoming a citizen person. It's not at all.
You married
to
for
me,
honor.
My kids, my boys, and Andre Calvin was born 4 years later, so it was Andre.
Right. Okay, so Andre and Calvin, I've seen them both here, I think, right? So do they live here with you or no?
No.
Okay, but they come regularly.
Homes. What do you mean? They work with me.
They work with you all the time, regularly.
Some things are tradition for us, the Mexicans. So you have to work with the family. Period.
Okay, so you have your show coming back.
Yeah.
When is it coming back? A couple months?
No, next year. We're shooting.
Next year.
Yeah, we're shooting right now for next year.
Now. So how long does it take to get all the episodes ready?
Well, it's 24 episodes, so it takes almost a year.
That's a lot of episodes. Okay, so how do you pick who to work with?
Not me, the producers.
What do they do?
The producers look for people they can tell the story, obviously. The case really is aggression, is fear, and is, your anxiety. It's just the family gives a different flavor to it, right? because aggression is aggression. So fear is fear. It's just the human gives the story to the case, and that I don't focus on that.
Well, it's all about the human story, really.
Bro, of course, you're watching a television show. It's
Yeah.
about humans.
Right.
So then somebody focus on the casting, and they know how to cast, and you know, I don't do that. I know the case until I get there. So if you and I were gonna work, and you have a bad dog, I get to know about the dog once I meet you. To me, it's about in the moment.
Everything you're seeing is actually in real time. Well, not in real time, but as it's happening. You haven't met them beforehand or whatever.
I don't, because I won't know how to fix it. And I want to feel the energy and fix it, because it's more for me, right? I want to live in the moment.
Yeah.
It's for me.
Okay, so tell me, what goes on behind the scenes that people don't realize?
My crew follows the rules, the boundaries, the limitations. We have trust, respect, and love. Everybody understands the natural, simple, profound. There is no ego. It's a great team. They learn how to video around animals. Everybody, like I said, everybody follows rules, boundaries, limitations. Any of the dogs that we work with, they can bite them. Right, because I'm not working with dogs that don't have aggressive issues. Most of my cases are aggressive issues.
Yeah.
And everybody's willing to do whatever it takes, you know?
So people must really dream of being able to work for you in this way, a dog person. It must be a dream. And they must be nervous when they meet you at first, I would think, because they're like, oh my God, it's Cesar Millan. This is a huge opportunity.
Well, we're talking about the production team, right? The camera, the sound guys, and we're filming real life scenarios. And so when they hear energy, philosophy, their lives get affected in a good way. When they hear calm, comfort, love, and joy, when I break things down, they benefit with the breakdown. And I'm a very open book. I tell, hey, I just did ayahuasca, and this is what happened. This just happened to me, and this is what happened. You know, it's just
totally okay.
Oh,
what you see is what you get.
Yes, because I feel that my transformation can help the world and the world around me. It doesn't have to be the whole entire world. The world around me, my kids, you know, the people that I work with, 16 hours a day, the people that lives here, the people in the ranch. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. My natural, simple, profound. You know, they know my achievements, and they know my failures. For people around you to see you as equal as they are, yet you gain a position, is very human, right? It's very it's very human to be able to have trust, respect, love, no matter if this person makes less or this person just arrived, or that thing doesn't exist in my team. You know, Cesar Millan is Cesar Millan, whatever, but as a human being with a spirit, with an instinct, and with an awesome heart. You see what I mean?
Of course.
So but that part has nothing to do with the name.
Yeah.
So that beautiful grounding and connection, you know, the calm surrender part that I talk about it all the time.
Everybody feels it.
Yes, everybody feels
genuine.
it. It's and that's why I'm open, because first of all, I love it. Second, I'm learning. So I like to trigger things.
What do you mean?
So when I share something you were not expecting, I trigger. And you don't want to hear it. I don't care. I want to say it.
Oh. Like it's triggering. Like
it triggers. It triggers something.
Yes,
and then I look
yes.
at you.
Yeah.
And then I study you. And I say, okay, this is what I meant. Oh, this is what I did. Oh, good. Right. So that's it. Because to me, the most important thing right now is time. So I'm not going to wait for me to give you things that you might not think is good. But I'm always going to give you calm, comfort, love, and joy. I'm never going to give you a fight avoidance.
Yeah, that's invaluable.
Ask them.
Sure, I believe it.
Yeah. And that's something that there's very, I'm very proud. I'm a really good boss. I'm a really good father. I'm a really good son. I'm a really good everything except a relationship yet.
But wait, you're getting better at it. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
You picked a healthy partner, a healthy relationship, and you're aware of it. So you have an awareness now. So even if maybe you haven't arrived at like perfection, which by the way, you won't ever arrive there because life is always evolving. Exactly. And you should always be evolving in your relationships and everything. So it's not about just hitting this one, you get into you cross the finish line or whatever, and that's that. It's not about that.
So you see, I'm glad you bring it up because right now when you were talking about the life always evolving, when it comes to a relationship, I feel in the animal world more like a penguin. So I do feel deeply inside of me that I need to find somebody that I'm very happy with, that I'm very healthy, that I'm very loving, and that we're gonna do the rest of our life memories together. Like it's so real. Like the same way when I say I want to be the best doctor in the world, it was so real, that concept. So to me, it's very real that I will find a woman like a penguin, because I'm more penguin than anything else. I don't know
what penguin is. Tell me. I don't know the qualities of a penguin.
So dogs can have many females. Lions can have many females. So most men are like lions and like wolves and like dogs, and so they have many partners in their pack. They identify with that species. Even though I'm the dog whisperer, I identify more with a penguin.
So a penguin mates for life.
That's it.
Right. I should remember this from the March of the Penguins. And they mate for life. They have the baby, the egg. They like cover it up or whatnot, right? The male does that.
It makes sense. To me, it makes sense. And I feel it from deep inside my spirit. That doesn't come from my heart.
You have like a vision of it now? Like, do you feel like you see it? You can see it in vividly, a picture?
You know when a woman has like a checklist, what they want from a man?
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
But they have.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, hey, grab the ball. Hey, tricky. You have to let it go. Hey. Yeah. Stay right there.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah. This breed needs to have a limit. So they stay within the satisfaction of no limit.
What breed is that? Is that Pitbull?
Yeah. And especially because she came from a situation where she developed aggression. So in order for them not to regret, they have to follow the rules by limitations. Mm-hmm. So it's like AA, right? So once you get rehab from AA or from any kind of rehabilitation center, what they tell you is rules by limitations. Just don't break them. That's it. So right now, what I did is just reminder about the limits.
Okay. By the way, this is so also like this is parenting also key, which is you can't just let things go even once. So here we are in the middle of talking, and you saw that she was not letting go of the ball, and you tried to take care of it from here. But if it didn't happen, then you were like, I have to interrupt it and go over and take care of it. Follow through, consistency. It's key. Otherwise, they won't grab that message.
And follow through for me means integrity. Right. So if I don't do it, if I let them go, and then I fail to my own integrity. When I'm supervising, or when I'm mentoring, on just a community, if I see something that is not in the honesty, integrity, loyalty, I feel compelled to do it. Right, because it's part of me maintaining, conserving this energy that I'm very in love with. Right, so that's what I learned about, to pick a woman that also has that vibration of honesty, integrity, loyalty, happiness, live in the moment. Instinctually, she knows she has done things as a pack. She's a mom. She's a good daughter. She's a good member to the community. Everything counts.
Yeah.
Everything counts, because that way I get to see your intimate space, your personal space, your social zone and your public zone. Have you grown in that? Otherwise, what I'm getting is an apprentice.
Right. So you're looking for all that now.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, do you have an image, a vivid picture?
Well, so that's the part, the instinct part, that's the spirit part. But then it's something that I love about a woman. is her fragrance, her fragancia, is a certain sweetness that I know I want. Like, when I pick up a Sophia or anything like that, or even whatever dog, it's a certain energy, it's a certain thing that I want for them to be in my pack. And so I know now what kind of even scent I want in a woman, and even the tone of voice, and in the behavior, or the sweetness that I know that automatically puts me in my masculine like that, right? So my masculinity should keep her in her feminine, safe, peace, love, just radiating as female. Just when you're next to me, let the female out all the way.
Okay.
All the way. I'll take care of the masculine energy. Don't worry about it. Now, when you go drive the car, when you do business, do your masculine. When you are around men, don't do your female, do your masculine. So you tell them at a distance rules, boundaries, limitations. See it? So you have to also energetically, as a woman, tell the man what the rules, boundaries, limitation is going to be at a distance. Because if you start flirting and you start doing, feminine thing, they're going to come like a predator because you didn't set a rules, boundaries, limitations at a distance.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is a level of responsibility on a beautiful, sweet woman. That's what I want. I want a beautiful, sweet woman. They understand the motor code and the pack law.
So is it Connie?
On top of be smart. Right now she is. Yeah. Right now I'm working on my self-love, right, to finish my self-love. Yeah. So I'm not practicing love yet. That's what I'm not saying. I have my penguin. I would tell you that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. So right now is, Connie has honesty and loyalty. She's her own boss. She is her own. That's it. She's me and a woman.
Yeah. So interesting. Aren't humans so interesting?
Yeah.
And all the different phases we go through.
Yeah. But then you pick a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Right. So at one point I picked
when you're ready,
the beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And then you pick it outside. Now, okay. Now I have to learn, based on my self-value and my self-love and in the knowledge that I have attained, to also pick the spirit of a woman, to also pick the instincts of a woman and the heart of a woman before the beauty. And we're not told to pick that woman that way, because Miss Universe, when I was a kid, I saw Miss Universe. I want one of those. How do I get one of those?
They weren't putting the real human on display over there. Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
So you kid learn to become a consumer. You're consuming the woman versus connecting, knowing, communicating, having a relationship. You don't know none of that.
Please, it's all about connection. And communicating is the key.
Well, energy is connection. Yeah. Communication is number two. You have to also be a good listener, as well as you break things down if the person don't understand what you're trying to say. And then actions, right? So it's your energy, your thoughts, or your actions that speaks for you.
So by the way, what happens when you're out and about in the world and somebody recognizes you? You are super recognizable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you are.
Yeah.
So what happens?
Most of the time is they're grateful and they want to take a picture because I changed their lives and their dogs change, so their life changes. So because what I do for a living is transformation, so most people find a lot of gratitude, even though I didn't personally do nothing with them. They just did it on TV. It's
so interesting because your whole thing is it's dogs, but at the same time it's human. Right. So there's such a deeper level. It's like, this is the obvious, is the dogs, what you do for dogs.
Yeah.
But what you do, it's emotional and spiritual and everything else that you're saying. So it touches a lot of people, I'm sure. Both of those ways.
I teach people to connect to the spirit of a dog, to the instincts of a dog, to the heart of the dog, and the mind. Because most people want to do the heart and then the mind, right? I want to love the dog, and then I want the dog to listen to me. Right, so then they hire somebody so the dog trains them, so they listen to them. That's no connection there, right? But so it's very emotional intelligence, right? When it should be spirit first, instinct second, heart third, protect, and then the mind at the end.
Okay, let's get to something practical because I was just thinking about this the other day. What are some of the things that dog owners should do that's like the right thing to do?
Many things. Well, number one is your energy, right? How do you make sure that a dog trusts, respect, loves you in that order? Well, you have to pay attention to your energy. That's good dog etiquette because there is no knowledge behind instinct, it's all reaction. So if horse people teach kids to be silent and calm and learn first about horses, which it gives you the confidence, right? So that's a good horse etiquette.
Uh-huh.
But dog people do the opposite. Dog people are not quiet, they're not calm, and they have no idea what they're doing. But they want a dog, right? So that alone tells you, okay, dog people are unaware of energy, are unaware that they're not practicing dog psychology. They're humanizing the dog, so they're already
Right,
practicing
stop
human psychology.
humanizing your dog.
Well, it's just not going to work if I don't learn woman psychology. How can I get to be with a woman? Yes, she's a human, but she's also a woman. So I need to understand the psychology of a woman. So I can't use men's psychology on you. We're the same species, but you have your own psychology. We're not the same species with a dog. Why would I use human psychology to be with a dog or to connect, to communicate? It's nose, eyes, ears. We are ears, eyes, nose. Our conversation is ears, eyes, nose, right? And with a dog, it's nose, eyes, ears.
Nose all the way.
Yeah. And so the other thing that dog people should learn is the equation is not affection, affection, affection. The equation is exercise, discipline, affection, body, mind, heart. And that's how you fulfill in a simple 3 steps the life of a dog. But that has to happen every single day of his life because a bird needs to fly and a fish have to swim and a dog needs to walk. And so as he walks, he does exercise, discipline, because he can't grab things from the street, bark at another dog, lunge at somebody, cross the street, chase a squirrel. That's discipline. And after the mind and the body went for a long walk, then the dog will receive affection, food, water, shelter, your love. But after the dog drained physical energy and mental energy, therefore they achieve calm surrender. So when you come home and then you give love, you're giving love to a calm surrender mind. So see, most dog people don't do it. Most dog people don't pay attention to the energy. Most dog people are not practicing dog psychology. They're doing human psychology in a dog. And most people do affection, affection, affection. And right now, the easiest way to see affection, affection, affection when a person is walking a dog, the dog is in front on a harness. And so when a dog is in front of on a harness, look what happened in the White House, right? So why would a dog buy the Secret Service in the White House? Why? Because that dog is leading the environment. But if a dog is not leading the environment, that dog protects the environment. Get it? So that dog was walk in front. That dog was not treated with the rules by limitations of the pack code, right? Because no dog in a pack of dogs will bite members of the family.
Right.
That's against the law.
Yeah.
So when you go against the family, and Secret Service is part of the family, I would treat them no different. If I'm the president of the United States, FBI, CIA, Secret Service, and the person who's cleaning at that time, my dog will respect all of you guys. Not because you're FBI, it's because my dog has etiquette. Right?
That's good.
Yeah.
So those are like 3 common mistakes.
Energy, philosophy, and actions.
Okay.
Those are the 3 common mistakes because that's how you break trust, respect, love.
Okay, one last question about leashes. I saw something, I think you had a video clip on Instagram maybe, or I don't remember, about like using leashes for 3 different things.
Oh, yeah.
So can you...
Not for 3 different things. It's what the leash is supposed to mean.
It has 3 different meanings,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
Yeah. So the leash is supposed to tell the dog, follow me. Right? You can guide it. So the mind, so why do I have a leash? My DNA doesn't understand why do I have a, but if the mind understands, it's to follow. It's okay. Well, it's unnatural, but you make me feel willing to do it. Number 2 is stop. So when you see dog shows, they pull the leash up. So when they pull the leash up, the brain completely stops. But if you pull it backwards, the brain keeps moving forward. So there is a position that makes the brain stop. And then once you achieve the follow and the brain stop, then you can tie the dog. That's parking the dog, which that's what in the Western times, when we saw the movies of Western, we saw people coming into the canteen, tied in the horse, many horses, and they will park the horse. Same thing. So that means that the horse know that once the leash is tied to something, he's parked, and he doesn't fight not to move away from them. You see it? So then the horse learn to trust and respect that approach. So a leash is supposed to, when people walk a horse, they move the horse. When people stop the horse, they pull up. And when people park the horse, so follow, stop, park. So once the leash represents that to a dog, the dog feels happy because he understands what that means. This foreign object created by human. So your natural, simple, profound, right? And so this artificial intelligence, because is a leash, has to represent natural, simple, profound.
Okay. Another question. What is one thing that people would never believe about you? They don't know this about you. They would be shocked to find out.
I don't know, because social media, I get to show everything. If I cook, if I dance.
Something you don't put on your social media?
That you have to ask somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because what is it that I don't want to share? That's the only thing people will know. But everything else I share, right? But maybe my family will say something else like, oh, you do this. So it's like, well, I wasn't supposed to share that. But everything else, I mean, my spiritual part of it, people know. My instinctual part, that's what people know the most. My incredible heart, people see it, and when people experience me, they feel it. And my creativity, I became what I wanted to become since I was 13 years old. So from nothing, so people know that about me. My creativity is one of a kind.
It is.
It is one of a kind. And I said it with a lot of pride, and me reminding that kid, the 13-year-old kid.
I was just going to ask you, what would you tell that 13-year-old kid?
It's going to happen.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cesar. Yeah. Did I miss anything that we should talk about?
I'm pretty sure you're coming back.
I am coming back. You know that by now.
Yes. Well, I like it.
I keep inviting myself.
You come always at a time that I'm shifting. You come always at a time that something happened, and immaturity.
That's interesting. Because I do know we have had these talks, and it does seem like you're in a different space every time, but it's as you're shifting that somehow I know to come and sit down for a bit.
Yes. That's it. You're helping me expose what I have become.
I love it.
Stop, listen, hip got a western.